Hey everyone, now I'm distracted because the light's on for no reason because it's not dark out, but I'm going to do another Swedish torch fire experiment. Again, I'm excited. I was excited about the last one, but this is something that anyone can do. It's getting more and more like anyone can do this. Get your bundle of wood. It's going to be a little bit different this time because we need something to strap it. And granted, what I have, not everybody has, but I think you should be able to get it in Home Depot. This is, and I'm going to try and bring it closer. So this is simply ground bonding wire. So it's just a heavy wire that we bond equipment together. Does something like make all the equipment the same frequency of the earth as the earth, and so less likely to get electrocuted. So there goes that. Watch, and I will put this together and see if it works. Okay, so the point of this video is how anyone can do a Swedish torch to cook on. It's basically it. And I think what I've thought up is cool and hopefully usable. Now I know not everybody has something that's not flammable around. Okay, I don't know if it looks any different than the light on, but literally, God, I was so distracted with that light because I'm not an actor. So, bundle of wood. Difference between this one and the last one is the last one was softwood. So if you look at the previous video, the wood was really white. It's like light pine. This is a hardwood. I'm fairly well convinced it's mostly hardwood. So it's going to be harder to light and burn longer. Let's just go right into it. Should be so, as I was saying, this should be a Swedish torch that anyone can make. That's what I think is super cool. Just get your bundle of wood, and honestly, if you got it at Lowe's or Home Depot, and this is called ground bonding wire. I think it's 40 gauge. That doesn't sound right. Maybe 4 gauge. But something that doesn't burn. I was thinking about it the other day. Like anything that doesn't burn, at first it seems simple. Like you could use speaker wire. But if anyone's ever burnt wire, you know that coating is made to stink so that you know your wire's on fire. So if you had any kind of cable, bonding wire, or you can just go to Home Depot, get your bundle, get your ground bond wire, and that'll be what we use. So let's just see if my experiment works. Oh, no. Oh, look at that. Do not want my wood coming apart first. So all I was thinking was something that won't burn around the base. And I don't need this much, so I've never done this before. I mean, I've done this before, but metal fatigue to break something, but not with this. So that's not gonna work. So frankly, I'm just going to use it all. Just go like this. I feel like I'm a little rushed tonight because I don't want the sun going down before I get done. But let's show this. So, as sloppy as it is, we're just trying to hold this thing together. It's not working out like I want. So, let's see. Sometimes there's things you want to do and they don't work out like you want them to. Just keep going. So let's see. I want a tight, wrap around the bottom. Doesn't have to be perfect, but and since we have so much wire, let's go for a second. Oh, I've never done this before. But, you know, obviously, I think if I was on the ground, it'd be easier. But I'm just looking for something that will keep the wood together and not burn through. Like in my previous video, I had like a nylon cord, and it lasted long enough to cook, but it fell over in the end. Alright, so ground bond. Alright, get the camera out of the fireplace. Since I'm not a professional, I don't have super sound equipment, and have to bring the camera in to hear me. Okay, this is Swedish Fire Torch 5.0. It's really some uneven wood. Might make it harder to cook than I wanted. I think I'll play with it for a moment. Well, I don't think there's too much I can do about it. So, also in my previous video I mentioned this, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to watch that one. I'm going to put kindling down inside, have it drop down to the bottom. From my previous experiments, that it seems like if there's kindling down at the bottom, when some fire lights in the top and does drop, it seems to help to light it. But you don't want to stuff, which was my first mistake, where you're stuffing all kinds of kindling and filling up the sides with kindling, and then there's no oxygen flow, which seems common sense, but you know, how common is this silly fire? So this one, opposed to my last one, there's tons of gaps in that bundle. I mean, I have no oxygen flow worries in this one. I mean, it's the Grand Canyon down there. So let me get some kindling ready and I'll be back. It's actually a dead and dried out oleander. There's a huge gap down there, but I don't want to cave into my temptation to filet mignon. Okay, so in addition to this dead stuff, which I think I'm done with, I'm gonna get something else. All right, gonna make some finer slices of fat wood. 73 Forge, and I will put a link in the description so you can go to his channel. We got 3 of his knives. Love, love, love. This is the most beat up and abused. And also I want to put a link in for a Nathan 4071. He is the artist behind my ferro rods, which I know I've mentioned many times before, but I've never put a link into anybody, and I'm going to learn how to do that for this video. All right, moving on. Let's get the fatwood slices that I want for my fire. I want some fatwood in the bottom to be the kindling. It's going to help keep things lit and motivate the fire. You might wonder why I'm wearing a Chargers, a San Diego Chargers shirt or LA Chargers shirt, and there's definitely a reason. All right, so that's a little bit thick, but still. Put this guy down here. All right, well, see, hope I haven't done already too much. Let's see, down over here, over here. I don't know what kind of wood this is. I think the manufacturer, the seller, pitched that it was a part avocado. Oh, and another hardwood. But I'm going to shut the camera off and do a little bit more kindling. Okay, made some finer slices of fat wood for my type of kindling for this type of fire. And I'm going to put them in there, and then I'm going to get my fatwood feather stick and some other kindling ready to put on top. I'm always whacking my knife into the brick. And I went over to 73 Forge's place, hung out with Steve, and as soon as I started cutting something and he saw the knife going towards the concrete, he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry bro, I didn't think about it." I didn't tell him that. Yeah, Steve, you're finding out now. But my bad, I just didn't pay attention to coming down and hitting your knife. But again, never claimed to be an expert. Well, it's kind of an ugly fatty, but whew, that smells good. That will do. So I'm gonna make a couple and figure out my kindling situation, because like I said I've said before, this is kind of like an upside down fire. You know, it's gonna burn from the top down. I know they're not pretty. If you want pretty feather sticks, you got to go to another channel. All right, let's see what we're going to do here. And that whole situation, you know, it's kind of uneven, broken up. Looks like it might be a little difficult. trying to make a little plateau here. And again, you know, fortunate to have plenty of twiggage. And again, you can look at all my YouTube videos, and that's everything I've done. So it's not much, and this is the first time. That does not look super good. I'm gonna go see what other kindling I possess. Okay, this part's a little bit serious. I got a bag of coconut husk in my garage. I've got white birch bark that I've been saving whenever I buy white birch. But in reality, you know, I've got everything I need. But I'm trying to make a video about buying a bundle of wood, standing it up, slapping it together, and be able to cook on it. You know, maybe when you're camping, not necessarily bushcrafting, but when you're camping, you want to go do this. So I figured it's not fair to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. So, but you should have fat wood, since you can get this at Home Depot. There's no excuse. I have gone out and harvested some of my own with 73 Fords recently, and I made a video, but apparently I said harvest myself like 99 times. So I don't know if I want to publish that video, but the truth is, fat wood is not like a rare thing, so it's fair for me to say, you know, you can have it. You've got your bundle of wood, you get twigs from a dead bush or the ground. And the parks that I have around here in San Diego, favorite source of just running through the park and grabbing dead wood. It's like, I think I look like a, you know, twig molester. But in any case, so I'm going to try and light it with some shaved fat wood and some other pieces of fat wood. Oh, and as usual, I do a transfer fire because I'm not so hot that I can throw a spark right where I want it to land. Hold on. All right, well, I said hold on, but whatever. I'm going to use that big old 2x6 as the transfer plate because, you know, I want it to be like, hey, we're camping, we're going to throw this out. Make it more realistic. Maybe I shouldn't be, well, Grover's Outdoors, so it doesn't say bushcrafting, because I might have to be camp crafting, as long as I'm not glamping. And yeah, I'm bleeding everywhere because that's what I do. And then I am going to use a little bit extra of the fat wood. In fact, I should have thrown fat wood in with the kindling. I normally have a little bit. Alright, so some fire fell already. Hit a piece of fat wood. You can't see that yet. I really wanted this to be a video about how anyone can grab a bundle of wood and go out and be able to cook on it. I think it's not genius, but I thought it was pretty smart. I thought about it. Get some brownie points with someone. while we're waiting, why am I wearing the Chargers jersey? I'm a lifelong San Diegan, and the local sportscasters are pretty angry because the Chargers are gone. And I can't help but think it's their source of income is gone. But they do like to say, hey, there's no San Diego fans, there's no Chargers fans in San Diego. Well, there are. And it's me and my wife and others. But I don't know why everyone hates the Chargers. It's like your father's a jerk, but it's your only father. Well, the Charger owners can be jerks, but that's my team. Tried to get into the Saints because I like Drew Brees. Tried to get into the Patriots because my family's from the East Coast. Tried to get into the Broncos and KC because they're in the same whatever, not conference, there's another word, but couldn't. Was the first 4 games of last year when they went to LA, yeah, we were sick. But since I'm a lifelong San Diegan, I do know more about what happened. I mean, we had crappy mayors. We had a lot of city council and like local minor corruption. We had people who were setting up their own pension funds. And then we had people like, I think it was Sheriff Duffy, who became Mayor Duffy. I think I got the name right. Good people who straightened it up, as far as government can be. But in that whole process, the Spanos were trying to get, over 10, maybe 15 years, the Spanos were trying to get a new stadium. And it's just like crappy timing. And then we had the philanderer Filner. And now we got Foul Up Faulkner. He's with the hoteliers. He's got his own political agenda. But no one was for the Chargers. And so, it was a two-pronged problem. Did the Spanos suck in the end? Yeah, they still should have stuck it out longer, but they're going to make a lot of money in LA, so who can blame them? They're going to be rich, or richer than they already are. But still, it's not the Chargers, it's the owners and government. So they're my team. Go Chargers. Kicked Raiders' butts tonight, and kicking butt this year. All right, so you got fire burning down. All right, you got fire burning down from the tops with my twigs and fatwood. Could have used a match, but I used a Nathan 4071 ferro rod to light my stuff. Look at it go. I'm going to not do time lapse. I'm just going to turn the camera on and off. Or maybe I'll do time lapse. I don't know. All right, I had to take this out of the stand. Look at that. Flamajawea. Okay, I may have. I thought it was Suckajawea, not She said I thought it was Suckajawea. It's any Jawea you want. It's usable. But I may have put either too much kindling down there, or it's just the fact that there's oxygen getting to this one. So I'm going to wait for the kindling to burn off before I even try and make some eggs. I got to wait for I said, no, now that you know why they call it a Swedish fire torch, because it's like a torch right now. So I'm going to have to wait for that baby to calm down a little bit. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could sit like that. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Man, time lapse would probably be the best thing. But then I got to put it on Windows. It's cold out here. It's cold out here? For me it is. Well, come sit down in front of the fire. No, those chairs are good. Holy smokes. Bing bang ow. Way too low. So that's the reason why I was thinking you don't want to use speaker wire or wire. That crossed my mind because the copper inside wouldn't burn, but the outside's gonna burn, and it's gonna stink like you know what. But look at the way this one is going better than almost any of, except for the Swedish fire torch, where Steve and I used a chainsaw, like you see on the internet. This sucker, hold on, it's burning super good. Tons of oxygen coming in the bottom, full on torch. So I don't think that's going to change much. I'm going to get my water to boil my eggs, and who knows what might happen after that. All right, the question is, how do I keep the handle out of the fire? Obviously, if you were serious about this, instead of messing around in your backyard, you'd have a bushcraft pan that did not have a rubber handle on it. And again, sorry, but I'm always just messing around. Hopefully it stands up or stays up. I'm gonna go mess with it. Okay, that copper bond wire at the bottom is definitely helping. Probably would already fallen apart. So I need to get my water to a boil. I'm gonna get some eggs. Ooh, looks like we have a little boilage going on. Grabbed my eggs. I don't care if this pan dies, but I need to be careful that I don't grab a melted plastic handle that permanently deforms me. But look at the torch. Look at the Swedish fire torch. I mean, a little bit of work, maybe some bonding wire up higher. If you actually had a pair of pliers and you took your time and you made it nice and neat. Look, if you need to cook on the fly. Okay, so I'm going to see if that water's going to fall. I might ruin it, but I got to check it before I put the eggs in because it's boiling. Well, it's not going to get much better than that, so it's time to go for it. Oh, shoot. One sec. I have to have my watch to time it. Call it OCD. Call it ADD. Call it ADHD. I don't care. I gotta time a lot of stuff. It's the way I roll. Now I have to admit, I've been trying to put these eggs into hot water. I've broken a couple. I mean, you don't want to bounce them in, but what are you going to do? Put your hands in 212 degree water? That might be a good carrier for the boiled eggs. All right, so let's look real quick. I hit the timer, but still, the eggs just went in. Okay, it says 14. It said 14:14 when I pulled it out of my pocket. Let's say 14:30. Because it took me time to put the eggs in. So what's 14:30 minus 8? 6:30. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I usually don't count with my fingers. I'm getting older. Everything used to happen in my head without even thinking about it. But, you know, you age. So when the watch gets to 6:30, it's been exactly 8 minutes. And I want those perfect 8-minute eggs with the golden, saucy yolks. And then afterwards, gonna go a little overtime and cook something else. Look at the water dripping off. Look, it's a self-sustaining, I'll put you out if you get too hot fire. The redness looks even better on the video than it does in real life. Well, I'm not gonna make you guys wait and watch 8 minutes of boiling water, which we could add to watching grass grow or watching paint dry. So, hold on for the goodness. No matter where I move them, they wind up in the same spot. Kind of funny. Honestly don't know if we've got our regular haze or haze from the big fires up in Northern California. I also think if I can, of course I'm going to learn. It's like not smart person, but I don't know how to put a link in the videos, but I'm going to try and figure it out. Because also Blanco Lirio, the Juan Brown's channel, Blanco Lirio, intelligent guy. He's an airline pilot, accomplished dude, and he has his own YouTube channel. It's kind of information, 90% information, 10% fun, or 90% fun information and 10% other stuff. But he knows what he's talking about, and he's up there with the fires in Northern California where he lives. And I just don't know if this haze we have is from those fires. The campfire, then down in the Malibu fire. Don't know what it's called. So I'll put a link in there. All right, 3 more minutes for perfect eggs. Then I have to flush them with water and cool them down. I'm not much of a cook. I like cooking. Totally love cooking, but don't have too many recipes. But my wife she could outdo Garth Brooks' wife. She's a cook extraordinaire. It's insane. It's like I get a top of the cove dinner every night. She's just like insanely talented. Comes from an insanely talented family. So me not knowing anything, I'm already nervous. I'm like, hey, these eggs have been in for 6 minutes. Like, I'm already nervous, but you have to have faith in the chemistry and wait. Which that was recording did not go well. Damn it. Freaking thing fell over. Alright, so the eggs had 40 seconds left. I don't know if I can touch them. 1, 2. Oh crap, that one's spewing. Alright, I'm gonna go rinse them in water and see what happens. Alright, the eggs were really close to done. Literally, I think 40 seconds to a minute before they're supposed to be done. Got them in the cool water. Hopefully they're right. This guy, wow, that looks so good. So, I think they're going to be fine. Now I want to try something else. Okay, yeah, that fell. Live with it. But I know there's so much we can do with a Swedish torch fire and a bundle of wood. It's not looking good right now. It's looking really lopsided, but I wanted to try and just do an egg. I actually want to do a steak, but not tonight. So let's find a way, maybe over yonder here. Anyway to heat it up and, oh God, you can hear it already. Why it's brown, I don't know. I cleaned the pan out. Ooh. Woohoo! Oh man. God. Makes me want to go camping. Oh dang. You know that is a perfectly cooked egg with a dark little runny yolk. Oh, the yolk came out. All right, I'm running in the house to eat it. All right. I love chicken and I love eggs. Oh my God. Not even any salt and pepper on this. Yolk drippage egg. I love it. Oh my God. My wife's making dinner, so I better still be hungry after this. Look at that. Just look at it. So I'm pretty sure that ground bonding wire held it together. Excuse me. So the pan fell off, but it's better than the last video where the whole fire fell over. And you know, I don't know what to say. You should be able to get ground bonding wire at Lowe's and Home Depot, and maybe there's better ideas. I'm sure there's cable, a chain. I mean, who knows? But if you can strap the wood together, you've got your own homemade Swedish fire torch, and it's still going. And I'm going to leave it and go in the house. Thanks for watching. Still going. Pretty crazy. You know, if you took this bundle of wood and you threw it in your fireplace or your fire pit, man, I wish I would have timed this, because you know what? It's easy to go through a lot of wood. And I'm thinking that this is as efficient use of wood as if you just threw it all down and started firing it up and sitting around the fireplace. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to let it go. Okay, dang. I lit this around 4:15, 4:10. It's now 5:15, 5:30. Well, hold on. No, you can't see. Neither can I. 5:20. So it's been burning for an hour to an hour and 10. But something I didn't expect was, you can see that you saw it a minute ago if you weren't looking, but the green flame from the copper getting hot and or melting or burning. So apparently it fell over while I was in the house. So you can only cook for about an hour. if I'd wrapped it more in the center, I mean, if you seriously wrapped it in the center with a cable, copper, a chain, you know, something. I mean, I'm not saying everyone has that stuff around, but if you have something around, you can throw up your own Swedish fire torch. So now it's just going to be a nice, lovely fire to warm us with while I go to the store and get Kentucky Fried Chicken. Alrighty, 5:40. So, you know, went for an hour and a half, a little more. It's time to put it out. Go to bed, boys.